Hello, sir.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can I hear you?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, I heard you say that.
All right. Aaron,
Hey.
howdy.
Hey.
All right, I have to go upstairs because Jess is taking over the house. I gotta go upstairs.
You're banned to your room.
Rockin' Rebels up here. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. All right, you guys there?
How'd your other show go today?
Huh?
I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, you good?
Yeah. Just wondering why I live in this state.
All right.
I don't understand why the audio is always so bad.
I don't know. Because I mean, like I said, it's always good here. Like I can hear you clear as a bell.
No, I mean the loudness of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. How'd your other show go today? You said you had another show to do? Oh no.
Is that Archie Mitchell?
This fucking show is snake bit.
Already? Oh, come on. No.
2 weeks to do this fucking thing.
Don't even say that.
All right.
After the day I've just had, so whatever. The reason why I'm dark is because I'm in the bedroom and the light's not on. Because Jess is downstairs pretending to be asleep.
Okay.
And I don't want to pretend to wake her up from her pretend sleep. She's dreaming about Jack Tripper or something.
Marriage.
Yeah, I don't know who she's dreaming about. Fucking Zach from fucking Saved by the Bell or something. I don't fucking know.
Okay. Let's hope and pray.
Podcast. I literally just got home. I mean,
how did that one go?
Oof. I mean, Bob Starr was on the panel. I mean,
So it's a celebrity panel.
there's not a whole. I mean, me and Ruckus, Ruckus, and Bob Starr, and you can pretty much like just imagine if it was a battle royal, and we were the last three guys in the battle royal. Who was going to team up against who? Me and Ruckus were going to get him out of there. you know what I mean? And then we would decide. We would split the $10,000 just to get Bob out of there. This motherfucker, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He is something else, man. Like I don't know about you guys, but I kind of do the whole deal where I live in my own world.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker is living in a whole different fucking world. Like he literally thinks that he literally thinks he has to get up tomorrow to go to fucking Universal Studios.
What?
You know, for the tapings from WCW from like 1994. Like, yeah, brother. Got my bags packed. I'm like, Bob, you haven't been booked since 2008.
You're still in the business? Or you think you are anyway?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, brother. I got the call. Like, what call? Who called you? And he says, Jody. And then I pulled up on my phone from Wikipedia. Jody Hamilton died like 4 years ago. Like, Jody Hamilton didn't call you.
No, it was Jody who was the head of maintenance at Universal Studios. And
It was Joey Hamilton. Yeah, he's missing a mop. And Bob was the last guy that was seen with it. Where's that mop at that you got? It was fine. Like
we've got you on security footage.
Yeah, Ruckus was fine. He's always good. He don't say a lot. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know why they even ask him to do podcasts. It's yeah. Interesting, right?
Oh my god.
I mean, just imagine if Cornette did that shit. You ask him questions and all he says is, yeah. And I'm going like, come on, Claude. I'm punching him in his ribs.
Cursed.
I feel like there's 5 different conversations going on right now.
In my head or your head?
In front of me.
This broadcast, I don't know. Something keeps freezing up. Telling me I have unstable internet. I have perfectly stable.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, no shit. Tired of this.
You promised me, Nate. You said in the text, I promise there's going to be no fucking internet nonsense.
If you want to build a network empire, don't use dial-up.
Oh, well, maybe you got to get Hotchkiss Featherbottom. I mean, that's the problem.
The worst part is here you can't dump Spectrum because it's all we can get in this podunk-ass town. There's no other provider. You have to use Spectrum.
Well, what country you guys live in? Croatia?
Might as well in the Ukraine.
What the fuck are you got? Well, I mean, what? How the fuck are you got? What?
Yep, there are no other options. We only can choose from one electric company, one internet company, one everything. It's all you get.
I can go on my remote control right now and change cable companies.
I wish. I fucking wish.
I could find a better fucking server. Like right now, I'm doing it as we speak. Like, yeah, watch this. What do you want me to watch? I'll put on whatever. As long as it's not ECW from 1994. Good
well, let's
Lord.
get this started and see if it fucking crashes. Here we go. Winging a prayer. This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are reviewing the Hostile City Showdown from 1994. Nate Maxon here with you, along with my brother Aaron.
Hello, and congratulations. You said it properly. Good
Yes,
job.
I did. And of course, ECW's Chad Austin.
Yeah.
And we are hoping like hell that my internet doesn't fuck us on this week's show. But anyway,
It will. I will. That's why
it definitely will.
Your internet stinks so bad that even all the jokes that I wrote down, I'm not even going to look forward to even telling them. Like it's going to crap out way before a Tommy Cairo match. Your internet is as bad as watching Tommy Cairo. It's embarrassing. It's brutal, and it should be a crime in a lot of. I don't know about where you guys are in Ohio, but it's probably a crime here in Baltimore because we're a major city.
It's not a crime here in Ohio because we're not in a major city.
We're a top guy city.
It's a legal abuse. So other than my internet, who's had a worst week this week, Chad? Is it Brian Kendrick or Shane McMahon? Brian Kendrick got fired from 2 different companies in like 2 days. And Shane McMahon got fired from a job he never even had.
Well, I don't know. Let me ask you. If Brian Kendrick got fired from 2 different companies and nobody's seen him for, what, I don't know, 7 years?
True.
I mean, and Shane gets fired, and the only reason why he lights a fire in your ass is because his last name is McMahon. You know?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, well, and I don't even hate the McMahon name as much as a lot of people do. But I pictured the thing from Seinfeld, the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer has the job, but he doesn't even really work there. You know.
I'm watching Seinfeld right now. It's Golden Boy, the shirt.
Ah, love it.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, why? Honestly. Who do you think has more money to fall back on to not have to have a job?
Oh yeah,
Spanky?
Shane McMahon for sure. Yeah,
or Shane McMahon.
I'm sure the Spanky money isn't piled to the ceiling.
Yeah, that whole TWA run that he had, for Shawn Michaels' company. Back in like 97. I don't think that holds up.
And if you're Shane McMahon, how do you get fired from the WWE for booking bad creative? This whole building should be empty.
Yeah, I know. Like, what is their idea of bad creative? and when did that become a thing?
Yeah.
Didn't anybody ever see The Great Khali? I mean, where are you guys at during the whole entire Great Khali thing?
Or the past 15 years?
Well, I can put it on right now and tell you the past 15 minutes. Dude, it's so hard to watch that I think Jess was going to divorce me.
Like, you can't watch this in my house anymore.
But she wasn't even going to divorce me because she didn't want to be with me. She just didn't want to be with somebody who's going to watch this crap. Like, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. I haven't figured this out yet. I think they're gonna find. I don't know. Didn't somebody need a doctor or something? I don't know. Yeah, I got lost in the whole entire brawl. It's 3 hours, man.
Yeah, and it's boring. It's definitely boring. And speaking of interesting creative, I won't call it bad creative. There's some weird creative during this show we're about to review, the Hostile City Showdown 1994 at the ECW Arena. One thing I did want to put in context here that I was looking at, the just to show, because we keep talking about on the show over and over again, at this time, wrestling fans were looking for a change. The big two products were suffering because of, again, bad creative and things like that. The ECW Arena show here, according to the Pro Wrestling Torch, has an attendance of 1,300. Okay, at the ECW Arena, which I looked it up, and that could be accurate because Wikipedia says the capacity for that building is 1,300.
Sure it
So
is.
if you have 1,300 in the ECW Arena, WCW the night before ran a show in Columbia, South Carolina, with Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat on top, with an estimated attendance of 700.
Makes sense.
So that that's you see the what I want to say, the state of general pro wrestling in general, the big leagues, and ECW at this point, just still being kind of a cult indie, is putting more butts in seats than WCW with Flair and Steamboat on top. I just thought that was kind of interesting to show the perspective we've been talking about.
I mean, Aaron, you could probably attest to this. The reason why the Ric Flair Rick Steamboat match didn't draw so well is because you know who wasn't on the undercard? Rock and Rebel. I mean, I'm sure that at the time the AOL emails were, where is Rebel?
This is the message boards. Yeah.
I mean, Archie Mitchell was flooding. There it is already. 3 minutes into the show, you already got the Archie Mitchell plug. just flooding inundating AOL on the dial up.
Get the Archie Mitchell reference out of the way so we can get into the show, right? This is this show's already better because Joey's back when we start this show.
What, no more Adnan Virk?
Or who's that guy they got now? I don't even know his name. I don't know their names anymore. I don't have any idea.
Jimmy Smith.
What,
Jimmy
WWE?
Smith. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even remember their names anymore. The play-by-play guys.
Speaking of that, I'm going to put on the UFC. I forgot that was on today.
First time I saw Jimmy Smith, I was like, they got Hank from Breaking Bad to do fucking Raw.
Okay. Enough already. Good Lord. All right. You follow me at Chad.
Yeah, that's the show, folks.
Yeah. Fuck.
But yes, Joey Styles is back on play-by-play here at Hostile City Showdown, and we start this event off with a match between Tommy Dreamer and Hack Myers. And as they begin this, Joey is beating us about the head with the fact that they're thinking Tommy Dreamer is going to be the NWA Rookie of the Year. Tommy Dreamer gets booed. Yeah, right?
I mean, look, granted, nobody wants to put that I worked for the Savoldis on the resume. You know what I mean? And expect to get a job somewhere else. But he worked for the Savoldis for like 3 years. He worked that big fat guy, Curly Moe.
And Curly Moe worked that big fat guy, Tommy Dreamer.
Well, whatever spin you want to put on it. It was two fat guys. It was like that old school wrestling match where the two fat guys just bump each other in the bellies. Until one guy falls out of the ring. And because he can't get back in the ring, he's the loser.
Happy Humphrey and
that's
some
Tommy
other
Dreamer.
big fat schlub.
Yeah. Happy Humphrey and Tommy Dreamer.
There's a matchup of the century. Dream match if I ever heard one. This match is, it happened. I don't have a lot written down on it other than the fact that Dreamer's getting booed. Dreamer sucks chants. Let's go Hack chants. So these people are not responding to Tommy Dreamer the way that the way that they're expected to, or the way that apparently Paulie wants them to.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought Dreamer stunk, honestly. I mean, for a lack of a better word, because I'm not a wordsmith over here. But as far as what they did, I didn't think it was a bad opening match. Right? I mean,
Aaron?
the work was solid, huh?
It was kind of slow and plotting for me, but I mean, it was what it was.
But it was an opener. What you want him to do? Jushin Liger?
No, but also, I mean, they could have, because Joey in commentary said that Tommy Dreamer wrestles like a junior heavyweight.
Well, that's Joey Styles' fault for saying that. that guy, I don't know what to tell you. Who put words in Joey Styles' mouth? You're kidding me. He said that for real?
Yes, because I wrote it down. Like I wrote it down. That's how
Paulie was like, we want to get across the fact that he works like a junior heavyweight.
I mean, I didn't think it was. I don't think it was the word. Maybe I'm biased because I'm friends with Hack, or I was friends with Hack, and let's be honest, I don't like Tommy Dreamer. You can put that on the fucking show, and I don't like Tommy Dreamer. And I still didn't think it was god awful, but you're considering it was the first match on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Well, like I said, I didn't write anything bad or good about it, really. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't awful. And like Chad said, I mean, it is the opening match. It can't be a 5-star classic, or I mean, I guess it can be, but at this time, if you're opening up a quote unquote independent show, you start off with two, because you got a lot of guys on here that are coming up. You're trying to get Tommy over, put him in the match, let it happen. See what.
Well, Hack's biggest problem was, he didn't have any liaisons in the locker room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had nobody that was going to go to bat for him because he didn't know anybody.
Okay.
He was a Baltimore guy like me and Axel and Ian. And I don't think there was any other Baltimore guys in the crew, but Axel and Ian are getting phased out, and there was Hack. And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean,
he just didn't think like there was anything there for him because although he did get the Florida run, I'll give him that.
Well, and overall, I'm assuming, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, you knew him, so you probably know. I'm assuming as time went on, he did gain some respect and stuff in the locker room and with Paul, because he does wind up being in the company for quite some time.
Because he showed up.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's the God's honest truth. Like, he just showed up. He was another body in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul said, well, look at this fucking guy. He's awful to look at.
He just keeps coming back, though.
He's terrible in the ring. Let's do something with him. I mean,
fit right in.
Pretty much at that time, yeah. I mean, like, like I said, me and Hack weren't we were good friends, and then we ended up not being their best of friends. But yeah, I like Hack just didn't he didn't know how to politic.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know how to get himself over in the locker room. So he was stuck just, maybe you'll go over, maybe you'll lose the Rebel or something.
Right.
Fuck.
No clear vision for Hack Myers here.
Like, Metal Maniac calls and he's like, "Hey, Paulie, I'm looking for a job." And he's like, I got one of you now. I got Hack Myers.
Hey, we don't need you, man. This guy lives in I just sent a check to the last house on the left. and I hope he gets there. And there's Hack living like on the first house on the right, running down the block, chasing the mailman. I'm looking for the check from HHG.
Well,
I definitely didn't think it was as bad as you thought it was.
Tommy wins the match with a splash off the top rope, and the crowd boos him. So nothing changes here. This didn't do anybody in the match any favors. The next match is supposed to happen, but doesn't. It is our man Chad Austin versus Don E. Allen, and the match never happens because, as is Chad's curse here in ECW, out comes 911 and choke slams both participants.
Well, somebody on the independents that had some money should book the final match between me and Donnie Allen. Because you can't have 911 come out.
Yeah, that's a great angle. That's a great angle. We can finally do this shit.
Like me and Donnie are out there. They play my music, play his music. We get in the ring, and we're just standing there, and we're just waiting for Frankenstein to hit, and it doesn't. And then we stare across the ring like aimlessly at each other.
Yeah, not knowing what the hell to do. Yeah.
What do you want to do? Like, I don't know. I mean, at this point, one of us would already be chokeslammed.
we literally never thought it would come to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's like the last tango in Tampa.
Well, after
I don't know.
You guys know he's still alive, right?
Who?
911.
911.
No chance.
No, he's not.
Dead. He's not dead.
There's no chance.
I looked him up. He's not
That
dead.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, he's not dead.
How often did he refresh that shit?
Saying he's not dead.
He's dead.
Well, sorry, Chad, you can't do your angle yet.
So I can get my heat back.
Yeah.
I can call the local promoter, James Ellsworth, and say, book me in 911, and he's going to put me over. I think cancer already beat him. I don't believe that he's still alive. I think that's all.
I don't either. I swear to God he was dead.
Yeah, me too. There's no chance. I don't know what QAnon website Aaron's fucking on over there. NWO web.
He lives in West Creek, New Jersey, and has 8 children.
Of course he does. And he's dead.
He's just choke slamming them.
Also, what you're saying is he had a whole herd of kids that he could practice choke slamming on.
Yeah.
Well, then why was he so terrible at it?
He named one of them Chad. He named one of them Donnie.
Mikey. Who's the Goodhart kid?
Oh,
Joel.
Joel Hartgood.
I can name a ton of them.
Named another one Pee Wee.
Yeah, I can name a ton of them fucking hams. We were all just sitting there together. You know, just like, all right, well, who's first? Well, I'll take it first because
right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's not gonna just drop me.
No, you want to be the guy that takes it first, so he doesn't kill you. He'll do the first one right. It's the third, fourth, and fifth one that's gonna break somebody's back. So we'll give it to fucking Joe Goodhart or Dino Sendeloaf, whatever his name is. You know what I mean? You got to be smart about that because you're like, look at the aesthetics of it. It's up down, right? And then you got to put his hand on your lower back to lower you down. Watch the second and third choke slam of anybody he's ever done. That piece of garbage, who's dead, by the way. I'm telling you, he's dead. He can't do a second or third choke slam without hurting somebody. He just dumps you unceremoniously, just dumps you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're laying there and you look at Mikey like writhing in pain, thinking like, all right, he's waiting for the next spot. No, he's not. Fucking this guy just dumped him on his head and shoulders.
It is ugly, ugly, ugly. The deeper you get into it, with the choke slams from 911. After Chad and Donnie get choke slammed, Todd Gordon comes out. Oh,
Yeah,
go
but
ahead. Sorry,
did
Chad.
you know that Todd is Jewish?
Gordon?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Well, they made a mention of it on the broadcast. Like that was going to make a difference of me watching your product or not. Like literally, Joey Styles goes, "Oh, here's Todd Gordon, who is Jewish."
I didn't even catch that he did. That's so weird.
I wrote down here. I got it right here. It says, "I hope Aaron caught that."
I didn't.
Because I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? Like, is 911 going to grab him and be like, "Oh shit, you're a Jew. I can't choke slam you." I have no idea why that had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Anything to do with it.
Next week they're going to let us know he's Hasidic Jew. The story develops as we move on with Todd Gordon. Well, he comes out and he shoves Paulie down, and then 911 choke slams Todd Gordon.
Dude,
An
how
ugly
big was
choke
that pop?
slam. It was a big pop. It was an ugly choke slam, but it was a big pop.
Dude, Todd Gordon's terrible. But it was in the arena. I wasn't watching the monitor at that exact moment, but I think I was walking around like just doing something, and then I heard the pop, and then I ran over to the monitor, and I'm like, "What happened?" And they're like, "Oh, he just 911 just choke slammed Todd Gordon." And like, didn't like a bunch of us run out there? No, I was already in the ring, right, getting beat up.
Yeah, Tommy came out there.
Yeah,
Tommy
Dreamer
Cairo?
comes out. No, Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, yeah. I remember like, yeah, it was a whole big thing, but I do remember like watching it on the monitor and being like missing the whole most of it, but then catching at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I wrote, I don't know, Dreamer stinks.
And he does.
I think I wrote it 3 or 4 times, and in matches he wasn't even in.
just a running thought. Yeah, just a subconscious
Who booked this
effort
fucking
there.
guy?
Well, Dreamer eats a choke slam. The crowd chants 911. As awful as 911 was, he was over with this crowd. This whole deal was over at this time. You
Dude,
can't deny
he was
that.
super over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what killed it, right?
Him going to WCW.
Well, way before that.
Okay.
Can you imagine this? This fucking 6'10"? What is that? What he was?
I believe
Something
so.
in that area,
whatever
yeah.
it was. This fucking goof tried to tell Paul Lee that he wants to have matches, like regular matches.
Oof. We all know Paulie's smarter than that.
Yeah. And I was there. I heard the tail end of it. And he's like, "You don't understand, Al. Like, you're a gimmick. This is the gimmick." And he tried to explain to Paul that he's much more than that. Well, you're much more than not employed.
Go have a match with Lex Luger on Nitro.
Yeah, there you
that's
go,
what
buddy.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
The $300 that I'm going to give you tonight, and the $300 that they're going to give you on WCW,
As
for
Big Al.
losing the, who did you say it was? Alex Wright?
Luger. He lost. Probably lost to Alex Wright too, because I don't think he won a match in WCW. But
yeah, I mean that's just a guy that just didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't understand because he thought he was whatever 6'10", 300 pounds. That I should be a world beater, but your fucking leather jacket with the fringes, that's only going to go so far. Once you you pretend like you're going to lock up,
Mm-hmm.
and the crowd knows that you can't.
The definition of you should stay in your lane. Yeah, I mean,
he didn't know how to do that, Nate. I'm telling you, that was his biggest problem, is that he didn't he didn't know like where his bread was buttered. You know,
mm-hmm.
like look at Goldberg in WCW. How long was it until he worked a match?
It was a long. Well, I mean, but the first one probably that he worked that was even remotely long, other than the one where Regal shot on him and made him wrestle him, was probably the longest. It was until he wrestled Hogan in the Georgia Dome. Like they had an actual match, if you want to call it you know what I mean, though, like an actual.
Well, yeah, because wasn't that the whole entire deal of running the streak?
Right.
Was so they can book it for that one match. And I'm like, this guy, there's a reason why this guy's beating guys in two seconds. You don't want to see him work.
Right. The next deal here is the dog collar match, which I was not impressed with. Taz and the Pitbull. Yeah, this was rough. I don't know, and I like Taz, but this was rough, guys. I don't know. I don't know if you agree, Chad, or I just it's not great.
Dude, I must have been 7 minutes into the match before I realized it was a dog collar match.
Well, here's my thing. Like I was watching the match, and, they're doing the turnbuckle gimmick. You got to drag your guy to all 4 turnbuckles or whatever. But then one of them went for a pin.
Oh,
and I was like, what? you can also pin? I don't understand, the ultimate goal here.
Well, didn't he win with a pin?
Yeah, but like to me, a dog collar match is the drag to. Well, okay, I guess I would say you do one or the other. You don't do both. You either do the 4 corners gimmick or you do a pinfall. It's kind of like having guys being able to be pinned in a battle royal. Like it doesn't make any sense. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, dude. In my world, I'm not a booker. None of us are bookers.
Right.
But I could think of 15 different ways you could have booked a finish to a dog collar match. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's always the one where slides behind, or I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm just going, that's crappy. Like, what does Cornette always say? Lazy booking.
Yeah, it's like 15 ways.
Like, it was because you're going, like, everybody in the world can see the other guys hitting,
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh man, I can't believe it. Maybe that was, maybe because that was so early in the 90s that it wasn't as overdone as it is nowadays. But just watching, I'm just going, that's just lazy booking right there. Why are you doing this? I would have just, honestly, I would have just had fucking Taz beat the shit out of the Pitbull. Because, who's going somewhere and who's not going somewhere.
Well, and on top of that, that works too, because in the end, you're going to have, obviously, we know Pitbull 2 comes out, and now he's making his ECW debut. Just have Taz beat the shit out of the Pitbull, and you can still get to Pitbull 2 coming, because now he's coming to help his buddy or whatever. And that,
I would have beat him up
too.
I just beat up all the fucking pit bulls. And then Taz could have been like an animal fucking cruelty person. He's beating up pit bulls.
Call the ASPCA.
I was say the next week we're gonna get recap championship wrestling. We always do out of these fucking super. The video of this would be that Sarah McLachlan song. Yeah, he abused animals.
And the eyes
them out.
Yeah, show the pit bulls with black eyes and bruised biceps and
arms of an angel's playing.
Yeah, fucking pit bulls. Good lord.
And Jason's like, please donate. I need to help my pit bulls.
It's not bad enough that we can't get rid of one pit bull. It's bad enough that we're gonna bring another one in. Who at least, dude, I'm telling you, Anthony, I don't think I've ever met a tougher dude than Anthony. I've seen that dude get into fights that were, it's unexplainable of how he would like clean a house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a bar about 8, 9, 10 blocks, or not too far from the arena, that a few of us would go to, and something happened, and I watched this guy it was like a battle royal. And all you had to do was throw the guys out the front door. And there's Anthony, he's got one guy on his shoulders like fireman's carry while he's carrying one guy in a body slams position. And he's still beating up people. And I'm just going, I am so glad that I am on this guy's good side.
So, I mean, was he the guy that, what do I want to say? He wasn't the aggressor, but if you fucked with him, you were going to get fucked up. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. Yeah. Anthony didn't even I don't even think Anthony even liked wrestling, honestly, to tell you the truth. Like, he was doing it because it was just a thing to do. Because, I mean, as far as I know, he just sold steroids. Like, that was his gimmick, that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he gave a fuck. And I mean, you've seen the match where he lands on his head, right?
Yes.
How the fuck can anybody get up from that?
It's like Lesnar. It's like when Lesnar landed on his head. You have to have the strongest neck that's possibly human. Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about the fucking Mike Awesome bump or whatever. Go look at Pitbull too, doing a dive or whatever where he just lands on his head.
How are you not dead? Yeah.
and he gets up. And he does the independent wrestler, like those, and you're like, yeah, man, fuck that guy. All right, I ain't got no time for this, buddy.
Aaron, any more thoughts on this dog collar debacle?
Nope, just like you guys were saying, it's stupid that it ends in a pinfall. It's like, what are they doing? That's even in my notes. Like, it's like 1, 2, 3, and then it's like, wait, what? Like, I put
terrible finish.
On here. Now you guys said like Pitbull, fresh out of prison, shows up and attacks Taz.
He had a new cat.
The next matchup, and I wrote down, holy shit, I'm only 26 minutes into this show. The next matchup is the Bruise Brothers versus the ECW champion Shane Douglas and Mr. Lex Luger Hughes here.
The Bruise Brothers, who are still there, by the way.
Yes, still around.
Dude, these guys are like a bad dream. Like, you just have it every day. And you're like, what are you still doing here? Like, don't you guys have phones? Isn't Memphis calling?
Hasn't Cornette called it lately?
No, what's that band that they used to be a deal with? In Memphis. The band that came on TV and said that these guys were like, they were sponsoring the Harris Brothers.
Oh, God, I don't even remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't even remember the name of the band.
Yeah, it was some fucking big country band came out and said, yeah, we're going to sponsor the Blue Denim Bruise Brothers. The Harris Boy, the Sawyer Brown Band. Was that
okay? That makes sense. The Sawyer Brown did a lot with wrestling back during this time, so that makes total sense. But yeah, I don't remember. But I'm gonna say you're right. It was probably Sawyer Brown.
Yeah, you know,
because they went to WWF and did an In Your House thing with Jeff Jarrett. So yeah, there's probably a connection there. So you're probably right. It was probably them.
Yeah, well, let's just throw Sawyer Brown under the bus.
I'm with you. Throw him under the Variety Club bus.
Sawyer Brown with the Blue Denim Bruise Brothers.
And then they saw their tattoos and we're like, never mind.
Yeah,
get away from you guys.
This is a PR crisis waiting to happen.
And the guy from whatever it is, Buzz Sawyer band said, um, can't we do something with the Moondogs? Like, why we gotta be with these fucking goofs?
But Buzz Sawyer Brown. It brings such a whole other level to it. Buzz Sawyer Brown. I like it.
The Buzz Sawyer Brown band.
Buzz Sawyer, so it's Buzz Sawyer and Bob Brown.
Oof.
Oh, good night. Oh, so what are you trying to reignite St. Louis? Like the Central States at this point was already a dead territory. But if you bring back Bob Brown and the Saint and what he said, the Buzz Sawyer Blues band, you might have something.
You might be able to draw more than that Flair Steamboat match, maybe.
Dude, I ain't never seen more empty seats. I think they charged the empty seats $10. like they didn't they put that on TV?
I think so.
Yeah. Why would you put anything that happened in St. Louis, like in the late '80s, on TV?
It's fucking depressing.
Depressing? It was embarrassing.
It's like watching the like those last days of the AWA. Christ.
The Tropicana?
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, like when I used to see that stuff, man, I used to just be like, you know, and at that point I was still a mark, right? Probably. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think I started getting the Observer until like 89, like late 89, 90. And I'm watching it and I'm just going, this is brutal.
Awful.
Like, well, why are they putting this on there? It was like Glow. You know, there's an empty. You know how they say there's an ass every 18 inches?
Yeah, is an ass every 18 feet? Is an ass every 18 feet? Maybe.
Right.
Well, this match again, I wrote down not good. I wasn't. This match, I don't. This match, first of all, it kind of bored me. Secondly, most of my notes are about Joey's commentary. Like he takes a shot at Sensational Sherry and says she's now into older men. I guess not a shot at her, but referring to the fact that.
Well, I mean, it's a shot at her and Ric Flair because he's like, he wrote down, she either really likes money or much, much older men. He said much, much, much 3 times. Older men.
I didn't hear either one in the comments. Because I'm sure I was too busy snickering at something else, you know. But I don't doubt you one bit that they made a comment about that.
The match itself, like I said, there wasn't much to write about it.
I didn't write anything about it.
Yeah, Mr.
I wrote Harris Boys versus Hughes and Shane,
and the Bruise Brothers win. Which was weird. I figured the Hughes and Douglas were going to go over because they've been building up how Mr. Hughes has got Shane Douglas's back or whatever. And then after the match, I put Hughes stands in the ring and rambles after the match. But
is that what it was?
That's what it.
I thought he had a verbal seizure.
I think I heard.
I literally did.
I think I heard Undertaker and Lex Luger in there somewhere.
Yeah, Undertaker. You know, I literally was just watching it, and I kind of like got up because I had like put some like vegetable soup in the microwave, and I wanted to get it, and I came back and I heard blah 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 blah. Save him, Abby. And I'm like, Mr. Hughes is talking still, and I just went, I don't, you know, at that point I didn't even grab the pen. I just figured, I don't fucking know. One of you two guys will heard it, and you know, but neither one of you guys figured out what it was either.
Nah. I just put Mr. Hughes rambles after the match. So the incoherent ramblings of Mr. Hughes round out this segment. Aaron, did you have anything else on that one?
I was just glad it was over.
Same. So now we come to the Kane on a pole match, and what a shitty finish here, too. The Kane on a pole match between Sandman and Tommy Cairo, and I'm going to let Aaron start this one off.
Well, when Bob Ortiz was trying to explain the rules, he sounded fucking confused. Like he just sounded lost. Like he had no fucking like, oh, this is Kane's gonna be up there, and these guys are gonna fight for it. And
he said he had no fucking idea.
I have no fucking idea what's going on with it.
He works there.
But him trying to explain it, man, he just was doing a terrible job. I was also happy to see that Sandman got rid of his blouse and he's not wearing t-shirts. That was nice.
I really didn't have much to say about this because I was still just like in disbelief at looking at their both of them two physiques. just going, you two are on television, you know? Like I guess you can call it national television.
And this was sorry, this was the big match, right? This is what we've been building to all this time. 2 weeks ago, we saw them have a better match at that fruit market or wherever the fuck it was. Yeah. This is supposed to be the
At
good
the food
one.
court?
Yes. The food court match was better than the Kane match. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, don't we say this like every week, Aaron? Like, Tommy Cairo's still there.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the at this time, this is the longest feud in ECW history. At this point in time.
Well, that's something to behold right there. Good Lord. No, I think me and 911 is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that I mean, I don't know. I've had enough. You know, I mean, I've had enough of Tommy Cairo being there because nothing they could do that he could do to get himself over has worked, right?
Nope.
Like, has he done anything that you gave a shit about?
No.
but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I didn't have to rack my brain very long because you're right.
Had him on the show, so it's nothing against him, but nothing he's done makes me give a shit about him whatsoever. So why wouldn't I want him to get the shit beat out of him?
Exactly, like Aaron keeps saying, Sandman's the baby face. Yeah,
he's the heel anyway. Like he took the guy's wife and living in his house and drinking his fucking beer and shit. So yeah, I mean,
and Paul Bellows, the guy in the front row, still has a sign that says "Pay your fucking debt." Sign. Yeah, that spells babyface right there. The guy in the front row with the sign says "Pay your debt, Tommy."
The convoluted finish to this match involves essentially, I mean, we have Sandman chases Peaches, Cairo saves her. Women gets a cane from under the ring, and Sandman canes Tommy Cairo. The point of the match is to be able to use the cane, yet at this point, the referee calls it a no decision and throws the match out.
Well, I mean, Tommy Cairo's the top guy.
Can't do the JO.
Can't go having him do jobs.
Sandman brought in an international cane. Wasn't the legal cane?
He's 245 pounds. They announced him at, and I just laughed.
Hat on a hat.
Fuck, when's the last time Tommy Cairo we?
Uh-oh. It was going good. There he is. He's back.
There we go.
Good thing you didn't hear that because Tommy Cairo don't want to hear that. So when's the last time he weighed 245 pounds? Fucking Bob Ortiz was weighing in somebody else. I don't fucking know what he was saying. I'm like, he had furniture disease. His chest was in his drawers.
So that's that. Tommy Cairo and Sandman, terribly not good. The next
How about that belly to back though? The one that
either I didn't notice or I just didn't write it down.
Yeah, Cairo gave Hack a fucking belly to back, and it was like one of them ones that were like for lack of a better word or better explanation, I called it the independent belly to back because he dumped him on his head, and I cringe going, there's fucking no way. Like, honestly, if I would have been him, I would have no sold that shit and got up faster than him and then kicked him in the head for what the fuck are you doing?
For lack of professionalism there. No, but I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
If you don't know what you're doing, then don't fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me you're going to give me a belly to back suplex, and next thing I know, I'm folded up like a fucking wallet over here. Right. And and luckily for me, I've had it enough times, and none of it's going to kill you. Like, people that get hurt in the wrestling business are just people that don't want to be in the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it all. I've had everything. I've been dumped on my head multiple times. I've been shit on the floor with chairs and everything else. I never cried about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never. Like, why would I? Isn't it wrestling?
Yeah.
I'm used to watching wrestling where George the Animal Steel gives a guy a flying hammerlock, and the guy leaves with his arm dislocated and his legs are amputated. Like, yeah, it's wrestling. This shit is going to happen to you. So
you're bound to get hurt at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, dumping the guy, like, he dumped the guy right on his head, and it was kind of like they were both at fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other guy could have rode his shoulders higher, and the other guy could have dumped him at a better angle, but it was what it was. It was not good.
Well, the next matchup here, and I have a question. I have a question about this. Just if you guys think that I'm off base or whatever,
You're
is
off
the public.
I
thank you.
He's white.
the Public Enemy against Terry and Dory Funk.
He's white.
And I think this match probably came off better in the arena than it did on TV.
Oh, you ain't fucking kidding me, dude.
Because it seemed like a lot of what was cool was actually happening off camera.
Are you gonna let her?
So, what do you think, Aaron?
Go ahead, Aaron. I'm getting a beer, so go ahead.
I just thought the match, like it didn't come off very good on TV, and you're probably right. It was probably better to see it in the building, and I don't know. I just like it was more of an in the arena, like you were saying. Like, people were going there they wanted to see Terry Funk and Dory Funk. You know what I mean? And just on TV, it just came across as kind of blah.
Well, especially when they spent Rocco and Terry Funk go outside the ring where there's no camera and no lighting, and they're bloodying each other. But what we're seeing on TV is Dory Funk and Johnny Grunge just laying there, essentially. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Dory Funk's kind of giving him little pepper shots or whatever. But all the exciting shit happened out of the ring and off camera.
Yeah. Dude, I thought the question you were going to ask was Dory Funk born 42 years old?
Well, that was an old Bill Apter joke in like 1984. Like, I remember seeing that in an old Apter magazine about Dory Funk being born in his 40s.
I didn't know that. I just guess
that is
Bill Apter.
Dude, on my paper, I have it down that was a bucket list for me. Like, I had to meet Dory Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the locker room, the backstage is so big. Like, you guys have probably never been backstage or never been there at all, but it's huge. Like, it's a big, gigantic opening.
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is find your little spot, to where you're going to get ready at and shit. And then you may walk around, and I was walking around, and I ran into Dory, and he was just sitting there, and I'm looking at him. And I waved my hands in front of his face, like, "Are you awake?" Kind of thing. and he kind of grabbed my arm, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I said, "No, I'm here to try to help you. I'm just trying to make sure you're awake." I even had the little doctor's stethoscope around my neck.
Put a mirror under his nose.
Yeah.
Brought some smelling salts.
It's just like I want to make sure you're awake. and I mean, he's totally different than Terry. Terry will walk around and he'll watch the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll talk to the boys when they get back and tell them, "Oh, this is what I would have done." Dory's just sitting there. Like, I almost don't know whether he's dreaming about buying a Cadillac or pussy. Like, I can't figure out what he's dreaming about. He's just staring aimlessly at the world. Like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? And I guess that's what Marty's for, right?
Yep. You gotta have a handler, I guess.
I'm assuming she's not a friend of the show.
Yeah,
I don't think she's a friend of anybody.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure she hasn't heard of it, and even if she has, we probably wouldn't care.
No, she would, because she would fucking shit on us. She shits on anybody. Like, that's the amazing thing about Facebook, is that you could do that shit, and you're just going, "Well, what are you talking about?" Nobody's shitting on any, and you make, it's kind of a backhanded compliment kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she'll fucking go off on anybody. And I tried to be nice to her by saying something about Dory, a couple years ago, or whatever, and she went off on me, and I'm just going, but I put him over.
What's your fucking problem? Yeah.
So I didn't like his little curly cute thing at the top of his head. Why did he shave that? And she made a big deal about it. Fuck Marty Funk. Think about that. Fucking MARTI Funk you.
That'd be the name of the show. Fuck
that.
Fuck Marty Funk.
Yeah, that shit is like, I mean, she's not in the business. She wasn't in the business. All she did was walk this corpse around to drive him to the fucking airports, get him in the fucking airplanes to go.
She was essentially Metal Maniac.
Yeah, but she didn't even fuck him. At least Metal Maniac fucked Snooker. I mean, at least out of money. I don't know about other ways. I just, could you imagine, as bad as Dory Funk is in the ring in 1994, imagine him in bed.
It's just like the locker. It's just like you were describing in the locker room. He's just sitting at the corner of the bed.
Yeah.
Staring into nowhere.
Like every 30 seconds, he gives her a forearm.
Grab the hold.
You got me picturing now the scene from Forrest Gump when Forrest is sitting outside while his mom's getting humped by the principal or whatever.
He's got his wiener in her while he's giving her the step over toe hold. Like, it's just his wiener's just sitting there in her. while he's giving her a step over to hold, and that's how he thrusts.
Absolutely no expression on his face.
Yeah, and the girl don't even know that she's being violated. Unbelievable. I mean, poor Terry Funk. Is he still alive?
Dory
Dory?
Funk? Yeah.
Oh, well, we shouldn't talk bad about him then, because I don't want to run into him. Matter of fact, I don't want to run into him or Marty, because I'm afraid of getting sued by Marty, but I'm afraid of getting beat up by Dory. What would you do if you got into a fight with Dory Funk?
I don't even know.
Like, how would you react to it?
Guess I just let him put me in the step over, I guess.
I mean, I mean, clearly you would have to be like, what the fuck? You know, what are you going to do?
Something's happening, but I'm not quite sure what's happening. It's going so slowly. I don't.
Yeah, you're getting the uppercuts, the forearms. And you're like, this old man, what the fuck's going on here? And then you got to describe him to the cop. He's an old guy with a little curly thing on the front of his head.
Yeah. He looks like the lemon head on the old candy box.
Oh, good night. You described Dory Funk to an old 1980s candy box with lemon heads. Okay, all right. Well, I wasn't quite going to bury him that bad, but I would much rather bury him in the fact that he's married to Marty.
Old lemon head Funk.
Lemon head Funk. Well, I think we figured the name of this show out.
So this match has another convoluted finish. Dory tries to pin Johnny, and Terry counts the 3, which I guess doesn't count.
Did that have anything to do with the chair shot that Dory did?
Yes, that was terrible.
God, awful.
Paulie and 911 come out. I'm sorry, I got lost in the plot here. If there is one, folks, he chokes 911, choke slams the ref. Then Terry counts a 3 on Johnny, and then Paulie, I got lost. I'm
Come
sorry.
on, get it together.
Lost in my own goddamn notes here. Essentially, I get what I get to this is a no finish. Because Terry winds up hanging Rocco from the eagle's nest from his feet. And that's that. I mean, I don't know. It was confusing to me what was going on. Like I said, it seemed like everything that was really good happened off camera. This was not what I expected, I guess.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still rather go back to the chair shot. Because didn't Dory just put the chair on the guy's head?
Yeah, it was awful. He just kind of laid it there.
Like, he kind of like picked it up like he was going to swing it and kind of like just set it there.
This is chair tap
on your head. Here you go. Yeah. But after that, I don't know what were we talking about.
Trying to wrap up this matchup. Aaron, did you have anything left on it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's just it was everywhere, and it was everything was going on, and nothing was going on all at the same time. Like, it was just.
But could you imagine being there at the arena?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The people in the crowd have been losing their fucking minds because they're seeing Terry Funk and Rocco doing all this crazy shit. But what you saw on TV was just trash. I don't want to say trash.
Well, that's when they did the big spot off the whatever it's called, right?
Yeah, the Eagles. Yeah, but they also
whatever the fuck.
The two of them fought outside the ring for an amazing amount of time during the match, off camera. and then they come back and they're like bloody, but you didn't get to see on camera or on the show what happened, how they got bloodied, nothing. Like none of that was.
We didn't get to see the two good guys of the team, like, and I don't mean like good guys. I mean like the two guys that I actually maybe want to watch wrestle from these teams fight each other. We got to watch Johnny Grunge and Lemonhead Funk just kind of roll around.
Lemonhead Funk. Oh, good Lord. He does look like the Lemonhead guy, now that you mention it. Yeah, he does look like Lemonhead Funk. That's my new favorite band.
And up next, Rockin' Rebel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Lemonhead Funk. I just found out they're opening for the Buzz Sawyer Bob Brown band.
The Buzz Sawyer band. The Buzz Sawyer Bob Brown band? Oh, that's a fucking doozy. That better be a festival.
Open an act, Lemonhead Funk.
Oh, are you going? And what would you do if a special guest singer was Brett Sawyer? And then he cut up there. I'm not really a Sawyer. Jesus, you're bringing up names that of guys that I want to get shirts of. Dude, I gotta get a Bob Brown shirt. Was he big in your territory?
Not that I know of.
he said, not that I know of. well, he wasn't anybody in my territory, like up here. He didn't work for anybody up here. So it wasn't until I started getting Central States that I saw Bulldog Bob Brown. I was just like, oof. There's a reason probably why he's not on my TV up here.
Mikey Whipwreck and Rockin' Rebel is next for the ECW TV title. Mikey and the Rebel. One funny line as Rebel's beating Mikey up, Joey does call it child abuse, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, no, it's the way he said it. It was his cadence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is child abuse. Like, if somebody was just like scrolling the fucking channels and they just like nobody scrolls the channels and stops on it, you know? But yeah, they scroll the channels and you hear, this is child abuse.
In a wrestling ring, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Joey's making it sound like it's bloody murder out there. Well, which I guess in a sense it was.
Yeah, I mean the gist of the match, of course, is that much like with what we've seen with Mikey, is Rebel is beating him up, you know, and having the 100% of the offense of the match. But then Jason trips Mikey Whipwreck as Mikey's going off the ropes, but Mikey clotheslines Jason off the apron, and Jason accidentally hits Rebel with a chair. And then gets brought into the ring.
I still can't even believe Rebel's still there.
This whole thing's going on.
That's the biggest elephant in the room. What the fuck is this guy still doing there?
Now, I think I'm not going to say I think he's gone now, because next week he'll be in a fucking match with Shane Douglas or something. But he's definitely out of his tag team with the Pitbull, since we have another Pitbull now. So that's over with.
Well, at least that was good.
Mikey retains his title.
You're talking about this is when 2 debuts, right?
Yeah, he's back out. Actually, we saw him earlier. Now him and Pitbull number 1 are back out. Taz comes out to help Mikey, and I actually wrote down this was pretty effective because they beat up Taz and leave him laying. So he actually got the heel heat instead of letting Taz get his heat back.
Yeah, but they also didn't make Taz look bad either.
No, not at all.
Because
he's
Taz,
essentially
Taz fought him all the way outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
He fought him on the floor.
He's essentially fighting 4 guys.
Yeah, and he's Taz.
Fighting the Rebel, the Pitbulls, and Jason. Yeah.
Seriously, Bob Ortiz could beat up Taz in the real fight. So yeah, I mean, they made Taz the character look as strong as they possibly could. I'm thinking, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, unlike in the past that they've done a couple of these things where they do a beatdown, but then the babyface is back on his feet and the heels are running by the end of the segment, which, that's kind of short-term booking really. In this instance, like you said, Chad, he got a good fight in, but they left him laying in the end, so now we want to see him get his revenge instead of, he already got his revenge. Why should I give a shit?
That's Dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not like you're reinventing the wheel or anything, but it's not like Dusty created it, but it's just that Dusty did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been done before, but Dusty just made a habit out of doing it
a lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
It was like Bills. They were just coming every single day. I mean, we're gonna do a fuck finish and but it saves everybody, but it also kills the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's already proven, right? We don't even need to go into a podcast about the death of any of these companies because we just saw it.
Yeah, we watched it. As it was happening. Yeah,
you beat these guys into powder and stuff, and then you all of a sudden you think Ronnie Garvin's the answer. What's the matter? I mean, Ronnie. I've been to a bazillion trivia contest places. I go to them all the time, like wrestling trivia down the street and stuff. Ronnie Garvin's never been an answer to any of the questions that were asked. And I don't think it's going to start now.
Yeah, the time is over. The time is up for that.
Ronnie Garvin. Who is Ronnie Garvin? And the guy on Jeopardy goes, "That's what I want to know." Who the fuck is Ronnie Garvin? Could you imagine if you watch Jeopardy and the question is, he beat Randy Savage for the ICW title in 1979, and some fucking hambone just yells out, "Who is Ronnie Garvin?" And then you just hear, "That's what I want to know."
This Canadian in a trucker cap accidentally became the NWA champion in 1987.
And somebody hits the button, and then the other people look at him because they knew the answer. They just didn't want to be the guy that said it.
I didn't want to be the guy that knew who Rodney
They just
Garvin
look at him
was.
stupid, like, "I'm not saying it." Fucking Ronnie. Who is? I would be the guy that fucks up and go, "Who is Jimmy Garvin?" He's much cooler than Ronnie Garvin. The only good thing about Ronnie Garvin is he could fly himself like to each town. And imagine how cool that would be to not have to go to airports and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you got your little puddle jumper there, and you take one or two of your buddies. I have no idea who Ronnie Garvin was cool with. I'm assuming if he had a plane, he's probably either taking like Crockett or some of them other guys there, like top guys kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's flying, and I'm just like, dude, all you guys are on cocaine and shit. So if I was one of them guys, I'd be like, no. I'll drive my rented car, 300 miles to the next town because I'm not going to get 30,000 feet in the air with this fucking goof. He's a man with the hands of stone. He's a one-man gang.
He's got hands of stones and bricks of coke. I don't want to be nowhere near this dude.
He worked for the Paphos. This guy ain't got a lick of sense. What's the matter with him?
My plan B is to not get on that plane, Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah. My plan B is not even look at that plane. Like, I don't even know where that plane's at. I'll take a cab. Yeah, but you're going from Louisville to Memphis. I don't give a shit if it's 280 miles. It beats fucking getting in an airplane with Ronnie Garvin. Hands of stone and wings of shit. Fuck.
Our main event here at the Hostile City Showdown is the much anticipated matchup between Sabu and Cactus Jack.
The edited version.
Yes, yes, it is the edited version. They show more of the aftermatch or what have you than they do of the actual match. What they showed was really good. Did you guys think this match lived up to the hype?
I mean, in which format? The TV version?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen the unedited version. I think all I've ever seen is this version of that match myself.
On TV, I didn't. I turned it off.
Okay.
Like as soon as it came on, I was like, "Yeah, Cactus and Sabu." I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I didn't really need to watch it, and I definitely didn't need to watch it in the what you said 7-minute format.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they show pretty much like 7 minutes of match, and then the 10 minutes of the aftermatch or what have you. That is very, very convoluted, but they have what I think is a very good match. Aaron,
You said good.
What did you think? Yeah, I said good.
Well, I don't think it was as you thought. I thought it was probably unedited. It probably was really good, but what they presented on TV was kind of a letdown, and I didn't like the finish.
Yeah, it was all Sabu highlights. What, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And then, like I said, I didn't like. Oh, this hardcore, the hardcore of the hardcore. Cactus Jack is coming, and he gets taken out by Paulie's phone. It's like, okay, kind of finish, I think.
Well, obviously that phone must have had thumbtacks in it, because there's no way that you know, like I said, I didn't even watch the match because at that point I was so like, you're killing me with this nonsense, and I knew that anything that had Cactus in it wasn't going to be bad, even if it did have Sabu in it. I knew it wasn't going to be terrible, you know?
Right.
And then in Philadelphia, you know, in '94, them people were going to eat that shit up. They could have went out there and just fucking took a dump in the middle of the ring.
Right.
And the crowd
was
still popped.
You're right. They just still popped. Really good dump.
Yeah, they didn't give
really
a fuck.
Good dump. Really good dump.
Holy shit.
That's a good dump.
You still got it.
From the shit? Well, not that he already just dumped it. You don't have it anymore.
You just plopped it.
You just dumped it. Yeah, you just dumped it.
I love this show. There's a lot going on with the aftermatch of this contest. Shane Douglas is out. Mr. Hughes is out. The Bruise Brothers are out. And
that's Paulie's dusty finish. Like every show ends with all these people running out, and you know what I mean. Like every show, You can tell it's like Paulie came up with the end of it. It's some big ass fucking brawl at the end of it.
Well, because Paulie didn't want to. I mean, I don't want to say for lack of a better word, but he didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So he didn't want to fuck people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. As far as I'm sorry, Chad.
I mean, out of all the guys that are there, you know, that we had no idea at this point whether or not the Bruise Brothers are coming back, and you know what I mean. So why, you know, we had no I don't know, and I don't think Paul knew. So why would you fuck them? Because if you fuck them, then you've already killed them. You know,
right?
You've already bushwhacked them. So why do that? So he kind of always left the door open, so to speak. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and his closing promo here, unless you had anything else on the actual match segment, etc.
No, just that they did. I think the only thing to note is that they did plant the seeds for the Douglas Cactus Jack thing that's going to be coming up, where Cactus stopped. They didn't say why, but they just Douglas stopped Curtis Hughes from beating up Cactus Jack and Joey, being like, "Why do you do
Mr.
that?"
Hughes is still there.
Yeah, he appeared
Good
twice.
night. This company just don't fucking move on, do they? Fuck. I mean, every single week, Rockin' Rebel has a job. Mr. Hughes is still. Come on, am I still there?
Hunter Q.
Oh, he's not there.
The two promos that end the show are really good, really fucking good promos. Cactus Jack cuts a promo essentially putting over Sabu. Like the gist of it is, I thought I was the most hardcore wrestler, the most death-defying wrestler in the world, but it turns out I'm not, and because I was until I met Sabu. This is also the promo where he spits on the WCW tag title, which gets him in hot water. Yes, gets him in hot water and fired from WCW. Oh, you were there when he did that one? That's awesome.
I saw it. It was about. As a matter of fact, it's kind of before cell phones, so I think I looked at my watch. I think it was like 3:30 in the morning, or if not even later than that, because we sat back and watched everybody do promos,
right?
And Jack did about 10 of them, and and I was trying to leave, but Paul always kept telling me, "No, stick around." And I mean, I didn't know why, but he wanted me to watch and learn.
Yep.
But watching and learning at 3:00 in the morning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
and when your mind isn't eternal cocaine like Paul Heyman's.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm tired, man. There's got to be a rat out there for me somewhere at the Radisson. There, like, I'm gonna walk into the lobby, there's gonna be some Klingon broad. She's gonna look like fucking Dewdrop, but well, that's all that's out here. I got Dewdrop, whatever. But yeah. I mean, them promos Cactus did. Oh my God, Nate! I'm not kidding. He must have done 7, 8, 9 of them. Like, wow. And at the same time. Like, after he would cut that one, and then he would do another one. It'd be similar, and then he might change something up, or Paul would say, "All right, do something for Jim Thorpe." You know what I mean?
Right.
But he would literally just sit there for hours, and he would just do these promos, and everybody would just sit there and just stare. Oh, I don't know who everybody was, but me would just sit there and stare at him. Like, this fucking guy.
A combination of being exhausted and mesmerized, I'm assuming.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like, you'll learn by it, but at the same time, you were sick of it. Like, fuck this. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't have time for this.
I got choke slammed twice by 911 tonight. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, me and Mikey got shit to do. We're playing pinochle.
Well,
Like,
overall, guys,
why all the other guys are at the bar doing whatever. Me and Mikey are upstairs in our room playing pinochle.
well, as long as Mikey likes it.
I have no idea. Fuck Mikey.
So overall, guys, I thought this show was a little bit of a letdown compared to the hype that that it received and what you were expecting. Because if I have seen it, I haven't seen it in 20 years, so I didn't remember much of what went down or the finishes. I just thought that a lot of the finishes were convoluted. The matches weren't wonderful. But overall, what did you think, Chad, of this show?
I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go a little different with you. Like,
Mhm.
what do I always say? These shows are just fucking awful, rotten garbage kind of thing. It was awful, rotten garbage. It was, but it had like moments
Mhm.
that you think like, all right, this is cool. This is good. Like it had good things. So if I had to give it a grade schedule, I would say it was probably like a C plus even.
Mhm. Definitely an improvement over the past.
Oh, for the TV product?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. The TV product, they haven't even got anything above a go fuck yourself, right?
Right.
Like for me, as far as a rating. Yeah. So as far as a big show, yeah, I would think it was a C somewhere in that area.
And I will say again, just to reiterate, just like I said about a couple of the matches and stuff, I'm sure that this show came off much better in the arena than it did on TV too.
Oh, I
Just
100%, 100%, because I was there.
Aaron, what did you
100%.
think overall?
I can totally agree that when I was there, like I don't know why it didn't come off like it did on TV. I don't know whether that was because Paul was paying a fucking outlaw mud show production people to do it, but it was not mic'd well at all for TV.
Aaron, what did you think overall of the show?
Who cares what Aaron thinks?
Yeah, who cares what I think?
He's not even here anymore. He's the only on the show, and you still haven't heard him in 10 minutes.
Just letting you guys talk. I didn't really have much to say. I mean, it was kind of a show that it was what it was. It didn't really live up to the hype that we've been watching for the last 2 months or however long we've been going into this thing. But I mean, it wasn't anything where when I was done watching it, I was like, yeah, it's fucking trash. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of a show that was just there.
I'm gonna fucking go on MySpace and tell everybody what I think.
Yeah. It just kind of was what it was. And was this,
so I mean, I guess about a C, like
yeah. And was this the was this the debut of that ring? I don't remember that ring up until this point with like the
ring.
Yeah.
No, that ring's been there.
All right, maybe it just been a minute since I'd watched the last.
That was Ted Petty's ring.
Right.
Yeah, Rocco Rock's ring.
When I get you in my ring. All right, everybody. We want to thank you for joining us again this week on Reliving the Extreme. If you have not yet, please do join our Facebook group and check out our social medias. Of course, you can follow Chad on Twitter at
If
Chad
they're
Austin
listening
Amera.
to us, they're already probably following us.
I hope so. If they're not, what the fuck are they
Why
waiting
are you saying
for?
it? Hey, what the fuck?
Thank you for joining us, everybody, this week on Reliving the Extreme. And we will see you again next time around. Have a great week, everybody.
What do you think? Somebody's just stumbling across the internet and hear Aaron blabbling about something?
And go, this is where I want to stop. This is where I should have been the whole time.